Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good afternoon, everyone. Introduce myself. My name is Saifa Nabila. My student number 210305039. Today, I want to review a journal about the implementation of single picture of text describing things orally at vocational high school to increase speaking ability. Okay, for this review journal, I will describe about statement of the problem, objective, scope and limitation, research design and methodology, final result and discussion, and then recommended for the problem. Okay, the first I will describe about statement for the problem. The study departs from the assumption that a single picture is still very potential to be used in a speaking class of vocational students and that the research has two objectives. The first objective is to describe the implementation of a single picture to reach describing things orally. And the second objective is to evaluate the effectiveness of this approach in improving student speaking ability. Therefore, the problem being addressed in this study is how to improve the student speaking ability through the use of a single picture to teach describing things orally. And the second objective. The first objective is to describe the implementation of the use of a single picture to describe things orally for vocational students. The second objective is to describe the response of the vocational student to the use of single picture in describing things orally. In summary, the objectives of this study are to explore how a single picture can assist student creativity describing things orally and to evaluate the effectiveness of this approach to improving student speaking ability. And the third, scope and limitation. Based on the information provided, we can infer that the scope of the study is limited to vocational high school students and the use of a single picture to teach describing things orally. The study does not explore other methods or approach to teaching speaking skill. Not does it examine the effectiveness of this approach in other educational contexts beyond vocational high school. Okay, next I will explain about research and design and methodology for this journal. Research of data. 1. Field notes. The author used a field note to record observation of the classroom activity during the implementation of the single picture approach. Number 2. Use questionnaires. The author used the questionnaire to gather data on the student response to the implementation for the single picture approach. Number 3. Speaking score. The author used a speaking score to evaluate the effectiveness of the single picture approach in improving student speaking ability. Number 4. Teacher checklist activity. The author used the teacher checklist activity to describe the condition in the second cycle of the classroom action research. And then the last, number 5, qualitative data. The author used qualitative data obtained through observation to analyze the effectiveness of the single picture approach. In summary, the source of data used in the study include field notes, questionnaire, speaking score, teacher checklist activity, and qualitative data obtained through observation. Okay, the next I will explain about the research instrumentation such as 1. Classroom action research. The study used a classroom action research approach which involves a cyclical process of planning, acting, observing, and reflecting. 2. Performance tests. The author used a performance test to gather quantitative data on the student's speaking ability. Number 3. Observation checklist. The author used an observation checklist to record detail regarding the use of a single picture to describe things orally at vocational high school. Number 4. Field notes. The author used the field note to record observation of the classroom activity during the implementation of the single picture approach. Number 5. Questionnaires. The author used a questionnaire to gather data on the student response to the implementation of the single picture approach. Number 6. Speaking scoring criteria. The author used speaking scoring criteria from a Brown speaking rubric to evaluate the effectiveness of the single picture approach in improving student speaking ability. In summary, the research instrumentation used in the study include classroom action research, performance tests, observation checklist, field note, questionnaire, and speaking scoring criteria. Okay, the next I will explain about gathering procedure, such as 1. Planning. The author planned the study by identifying the research question, selecting the research instrument, and design the classroom activity. Number 2. Acting. The author implemented the single picture approach in the classroom and collect data through observation, field notes, and performance tests. Number 3. Observing. The author observed the classroom activity and record observation in a field notes and observation checklist. Number 4. Reflecting. The author reflects on the data collected and analyzes the effectiveness of the single picture approach in improving student speaking ability. Number 5. Questionnaires. The author administered questionnaire to gather data on the student response to their implementation of single picture approach. In summary, the gathering procedure used in the study involved planning, acting, observing, reflecting, and administering questionnaire to gather data on the student response to the implementation of the single picture approach. Okay, the next I will explain about statistical tool. However, based on the information provided, we can infer that the author used descriptive statistics to analyze the data collected from the performance test, observation, checklists, and questionnaires. Descriptive statistics involve the use of measures such as a mean, median, and mode to summarize and describe the data. The author used these measures to analyze the effectiveness of the single picture approach in improving student speaking ability and to describe the student response to the implementation of the single picture approach. Okay, the next I will explain for problem, finding, conclusion, and recommendation. Okay, the first problem. The problem addressed in this study is that the vocational high school graduate experience difficult in speaking English in public, particularly in a working environment. And then the finding for the study suggests that the implementation of a single picture approach can improve student speaking ability. In a first cycle, all students had difficulty describing things orally, but in the second cycle, 83% of a student were categorized as excellent or good in their speaking ability. The study also found that the single picture approach can assist student creativity in describing things orally. And then the next conclusion. Based on the finding, the author concluded that the implementation of a single picture approach can be an effective method to improve student speaking ability. And the last is recommendation. The author recommended the teacher use a single picture approach in their teaching to help students develop their speaking ability and creativity in describing things orally. Alright, I think that's all for my presentation. Thank you very much for your kind attention. Good afternoon everyone. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.